I look crazy, but this is the first video. I wanted to just test it out, but I'm gonna just talk about how you say a near-death experience that I had. One of mine's back in 2009. I got into a car accident. I had a 1998. No, it was an old car. I'm sorry. Yeah, 1998. I think it was. It was either 98 or 2000 Camry, and I was coming out of Burger King where I live. And I was coming out of Burger King from getting something to eat. And when I was coming out, the traffic, the traffic coming from the left, it was a line. And it was two lanes, though. It was two lanes. One lane here, one lane, one lane there. But I was coming out, crossing them. And the first lane was like telling me to go. Like, you can go. I can come out and go. And I shouldn't listen to her, but I did listen to her. So when I did come out, I was wrong. It was a sign there stating that when you come out of the Burger King, no left turn. So I didn't see that sign and I didn't follow that. So when I came out, I was trying to make a left instead of going right. As I came out, I passed the first car and I came out, and all I could just remember was this pickup truck coming, and it was just too late for me to do anything. When I say anything, I still have dreams about this. I mean, this was in 2009. This is 2021, and I still dream about it. I still jump out of my sleep. My body jerk in my sleep. So as I came out and I was about to do a left, like I'm coming out and I'm about to do a left, I turned and I looked, and that pickup truck was coming. He was doing like 50, probably 50, 60, probably 50. It was too late. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't stop it. I could nothing. So he just hit me. Wow. And the Burger King was like in, the middle of the block. So when he hit me, it flew me to the stop sign, to the lights. I didn't even know the car even went that fast, because the last thing I remember was turning my head, looking, and I was like, and I turned around and I grabbed the passenger, try to hold her because she didn't have her seatbelt on. So, I grabbed her. I had my seatbelt on, but she didn't. So when I turned to grab her after the car hit me and her head collide. Boom, boom, boom. The pickup truck hit the back of my head right here. My head was busted open right here. I'll talk about all of that after, but once it hit me, that was the last thing I remember, was turning around to her and trying to grab her. And after I grabbed her, I just remember being in it, and it wasn't even a room. I don't even, it don't feel like I was in a room. It doesn't feel like I was in outside, like in space. It was just, I can't even explain the space I was in. And it was just all white, all white, all white, all white. And I can hear people. But the people that I hear, it sound like they're far away. And they're not calling me. They're all laughing. But it's like happy sounds. You know what I mean? It was happy sounds of people. People talking. But the mood I felt when I was there, it was like just so calming. Like, it was like I wasn't scared. So I just started putting my arms out, and I remember, I can't see my body, but I can just remember when I put my arms out, to reach out, to go like this, to try to feel, or because the room, or not room, or just the space just felt weird. It didn't feel bad, but it just felt weird because I didn't know where I was. So I'm, going like this, and hey, 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 and I'm yelling, and I'm like, I'm over here. I'm over here. And I remember yelling, I'm over here. I'm over here. And they couldn't hear me. They couldn't hear me at all. They couldn't hear me at all. But I was still yelling like, I'm here. I'm here. Can y'all hear me? I'm here. And I feel myself walking, and I'm still got my arms out, like trying to feel for, anything, because it's just all white. All white. Just a blank space, white. It was just white. And I'm screaming, hey, hey, I'm here, because I hear them, but they just sound far. But it's laughs, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad mood. I don't feel scared again. And I'm like, hey, I'm here, I'm here. And it was like the room, the space just started densing. Like I can't even pronounce how to say it, because it just started like wherever I walked to, it was like clouds. I'm gonna put it like this: it was like clouds, because wherever the more I walked, the more clearer the view, like everything, started coming more clearer. It was like I was walking out of a cloud, and back into the situation of everything. Because by the time okay, I'm gonna just say, as I kept walking forward, I started seeing things, like seeing like, okay, it's a sky. That's the first thing I seen, was like a sky. And then I was like, okay. And I just still kept walking. And then I see my friend face in front of me. Started clearing up. And then I seen my friend face, the one that was in the car with me. I seen her face. And she was like, are you okay? And I couldn't hear her voice, but I could read her lips, because I see her face. Now I'm laying down, because now I'm looking up to the sky. That's clearly, now I see where, I ended up at. I ended back there. I don't know how to say it, but I ended up back at the situation, back at the car accident, and she was in my face, because I remember now I can feel that I'm laying on the floor. Now I can remember, I'm laying on the floor, and she's over me, and she's like, and I can't hear her voice. And while she's over me, there's other people standing, and they all around me, looking down at me. And I can hear, I can't hear them, but I can see their lips moving. And everybody's like, you okay? You okay? I'm reading their lips now. Are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, and my friend, and then my hearing came back. That's when my hearing also came back. It's like everything, it felt like I was coming back into my body. Everything was more clearer now. I seen that I was outside. That's why I was seeing the sky at first, because I was laying down. And then I started hearing, everybody. And the people that was around me was the same people that, I'm not going to say it was the same people, but the sounds was just like the same people that was all outside gathered, standing around me. And she was like, are you okay? And that's when my sound came back, and I was like, she was like, you okay? And I'm feeling blood running down my neck. So I just grabbed my head, grabbed my head, with my hand, this arm and the other arm, and I just held my head right here and just held it, put pressure on it. I put pressure on it because it was just feel like boom, boom, boom. It was jumping. And she was like, are you okay? And I was like, that's when my hearing came back, and she was like, you okay? And I was like, no, my head hurt. And she was like, you were screaming. And I was like, huh? And mind you now, I didn't even remember screaming that I need, help. She was like, you were screaming, I'm over here. Like, she said, I was just screaming, I'm over here. And I was like, and the hospital just told me, thank God I put pressure on my head, because my head would have bled out, because I had my head busted open back here. I had a big knot here from when I turned and me and her head collided. The whole side of my body here was black and blue. I couldn't even walk for probably about 2 weeks. They didn't even have to sew my head up or anything like that. They was like, you were like the luckiest woman in the world to get hit by a F-150 truck, like one of the big pickup trucks. It hit my little Toyota Camry, the Camry Toyota, a little car. And when it hit it, they said it spent the car all the way to the light. I didn't even know all of that went down. All I remember was, like I said, was going out and seeing that car, and I turned to her and pow. And next thing you know, I'm in this white room, and I want to call it a room, and I don't want to call it outside. I can't even explain it, but it was just like a white space. It was just all white. And I wasn't standing on the ground, because I'm looking down, looking around. It was like I was just hovering, in the air, like I was just there. They placed me in a whole white space, like just boom, placed me there. And I didn't feel the ground. I didn't feel the ceiling. Like it was just, felt like I was just levitating in this white space. but I'm hearing sounds. So the sounds was like good sounds. So I started following those sounds. You know, like that's what made me like start walking towards the sounds because they sound like they was in the distance. And I was like, hey, I'm here, I'm here. I remember that. But I don't remember after getting hit, like in this. When I start reading up about it, I went to another world. My soul went to another world. So I didn't remember what was going on in this world, but I remember when my soul left my body for a minute, and that must have been like a waiting room, a holding room, until they figure out whether I was going to die or not. Because when I say I started walking towards that sound, and the sound was just so pleasant. Really, it was pleasant. It just felt, it gave me a good, warm feeling. So that's why I started following that sound. So I started following the sound. And as I started following the sound, it was like the clouds was just clearing up, you know. And the first thing I seen was the sky. And after the sky, you know, it started clearing up some more. And that's when I see my friend's face. And that's when I realized, okay, now I'm back. I'm back. You know, I don't know how to explain it. And it was like I was back to reality, back to this world here. It was weird, that room that I keep saying room, but it's my near-death experience. I just want to tell that.